Hi buds, today we are working on straight leg deadlifts. So that looks like this. Or if we're feeling really juicy, maybe it looks like this. So you need your pole, a mat if you need for your floor, and depending how much you can pull your heel to your bum, either 1 or 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have a yoga block, just grab a jumper, a cushion, anything you have around home. Let's get to it. So when we train for our straddle, we're lifting our legs to our face. We're doing a lot of that work today, and that's really crunching, using that hip flexor. So we're going to do an exercise just to lengthen and open up through that hip flexor. And it's also going to help strengthen our glutes, which we need when we use that hip flexor because it's really, really hard, but we want to try and be squeezing our butt as we try and lift our legs. So we're just going to do glute bridges to start off with. So let's go hands on our hips for the first couple just to really feel the pelvis. So we're going to turn our tailbone up towards us, feel the lower back really flatten into the floor. Drive into your heels, squeeze your bum, lift your sacrum, roll up through your spine, up, squeeze your butt, and then slowly roll back down. So replacing one bone at a time onto the floor. Once you feel you've got a good feel of those hips, you can take your fingertips to the ceiling, just so we're using a little bit more obliques, tailbone underneath, roll up, squeeze, and slowly roll down. We're going to do just 3 more of these. If you want to do more, of course, you can stop the video and do more reps. Never enough glute bridges. My physio told me to do more. I was like, how many more can I do a day? Let's do 1 more. And at the top, we're going to pause, drive into the heels, squeeze the bum, and just little tiny lifts up, thinking you're trying to get these hip bones just a centimeter higher each rep. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll down. Let's get rid of that block. You don't have to do it with the block, but it's nice to get that little bit of extra adductor engagement. So now we're going to do a glute bridge into a straddle rollover. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to roll up, roll down, extend, and roll over to come slowly back down. So the tough thing about it is I'm starting my straddle rollover from here. Sometimes if you come to class often, we go from here. So we sort of have this extra little bit of momentum, but we're training for our deadlift. When we do the deadlift, there's no momentum. It's just our brute strength lifting us. So we're going hands on our chest. We roll our hips up, squeeze our bum, slowly roll back down. From that position, extend the legs. Now think, turn your tailbone underneath, use your low abs, and roll up. See if you can tap your toes on the floor, and then slowly roll back down. Feet on the floor, 1 glute bridge. We're going to do 4 more of these. Same story, all of this stuff you can do, as many reps as you have time for. 3 more. You might be finding that your feet aren't totally touching the floor. That's totally fine. If you're getting like here and then coming back down, no worries. The more we do it, the stronger we get. Let's get 2 more. Extend, roll it over, slowly roll down. And 1 last roll. We're going to try and come down super slowly with this last one. Me too. Pray for me. So we're going to come down slowly for 5. Here we go. 5, 4. We're halfway. 2, 1, and pop the feet onto the floor. Nice. Cool. Then we're going to roll over. We're going to do a little bit more abs. We're going to do some plank dips. So get a good position with your plank, elbows under the shoulders. And we are going to bend our knees, lift, bend our knees, and lift. 8 more of these. 8. We got 7. 6, 5, 4. So nothing is moving except my knees hinging. Last 2. 1 more. And if you wanted to, you can stop the video and hold plank for a minute. Why not? Second last ab exercise, we're going to do our reverse crunch. So this is the one we need our blocks for. So we're coming down. Hope you can see me. I guess we'll find out later. We're coming down to the pole is above our head, and we're putting a block between our heels and our bum. So when I say heels, it's not calves, it's your heels. So if you're struggling with that, not struggling, just if you don't have space in your body, you can put 2 blocks. And as we discussed, you could also use a rolled up jumper or a cushion, anything you have. It's just so that we're squeezing our heels to the bum and we really, really have to work those low abs, rather than if we don't have that, it's a little bit easier and we don't want that. So I'm popping my hands onto the pole into 2 cup grips, and I'm going to squeeze my elbows towards each other, lift my knees to my elbows, pardon me, and then slowly roll down. So what I don't want to do is go all the way to a shoulder stand. I don't want to go up here. My abs are actually turned off there. So by doing that smaller range, we're actually working harder. We're going to do 10. Here we go. So tailbone underneath, elbows to the knees, slowly roll down. We've got 9 and 8. Do try and keep breathing here. I have to breathe as I'm talking. We've got 7, 6. At this halfway point, you can swap which hand is on top. It very subtly changes the engagement. We go, oh, I can feel it actually. This is my least dominant side. It was good I swapped. We go 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. And I'm trying to go really, really slowly to the floor. To be honest, maybe even slower than I demonstrated. The stress of the video made me go faster. One last ab exercise. We're going to pop a block in between our ankles. We're going to come to a V-sit. So I'm thinking about, my V-sit position. I would be at 45 degrees and 45 degrees. I'm trying to find that with my chest and as much as possible not change the angle. For sure, if you slow down the video and check my form, you're going to see I move forwards and back a bit, but I'm trying to find that 45-degree position. Then I lift my legs up to 45 degrees and return back down. Straight legs, we're working on straight leg aerial deadlift, yeah? So I'm trying not to bend my knees and lead with my knees. I would rather it look like this than you get higher but you bend your knees. We're going to do 10. So here we go. Rock back, tailbone underneath, belly button to the spine, squeeze your butt, take a prayer, and here we go. For 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, only 3 more. 3, 2, 1 last rep. And maybe hold a V-sit, why not? So the first exercise we're going to do to work on our deadlifts is our short arm strength. So when we set up for an invert, we're in what we call a short arm position. And by the time we get up, we're in the long arm position. But what we sometimes see when we're learning to invert or on our second side is our arms go from short to long too quickly. So rather than staying in this short arm position and then pushing the hands to the hips to come to the long arm, sometimes what we see is that we're not quite with the hips at a high enough position and we lose that position. So we're going to do an exercise to strengthen it. Grab one block, it's going to be helpful for you. We're going to pop that between our ankles, set ourselves up beside the pole. So do make sure you have a good positioning. So my elbow is at my shoulder height, my hand is at my eyes, my outside hand is on top. I'm in that baseball grip. Then we're going to lift the knees to the chest. We're going to do it 10 times. So we engage, shoulders back and down, lats engage, lift the knees to the chest for 10, for 9, 8, try and point your toes even though you're holding that block. We've got 5, 4, 3, stay with me for 2, and 1. Nice, good stuff. Then we're going to climb using the same leg as our inside arm, even if it's on our preferred leg, and we're going to do 10 at the top. You can leave your block at the floor. So we climb. If you're using your home pole, try and go to the top. And I want to bring myself into that same position. Bicep wrapped, outside hand on top, lift the knees to the chest. 10 times, here we go. For 10, think about holding that block in between your ankles. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. So, if you're like me, this is probably our second side, yeah? Some people are really diligent. They do their second side first. Not me. So we really want to focus on keeping those arms really nice and short on this side. I'll just take my sock off on the side I'm going to climb because I could feel myself flexing my back foot. An absolute no-no. So inside bicep is wrapped. Outside hand is on top. Think about pulling that pole deeper into the floor. 10 reps. Here we go. For 10, also on the floor, you can put your feet on the floor. Yeah? Obviously, in the sky, we don't have that option. So it's your choice how hard you want to work. We got 5 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Leave that block on the floor. Same leg as the inside arm, even if it's not your preferred leg. Up we go. Woo. I'm very aware. I have my little microphone on, and I'm huffing and puffing. So here we go, 10 reps to the top. 10, 9, 8. Also, obviously, if you can't quite do as many reps, you can cut it shorter. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we made it. 1. Nice stuff. So we've worked on our short arm. We've worked on our abs. I feel them burning. Now we're going to work on my favorite muscle group, the lats. So we're going to do an exercise called crucifix to happy straddle. So the happy straddle is when our lats are engaged, our chest is open, and our hips are really high. So it looks like this as compared to this. So if I'm here, I can't hook my knee, I can't get a neat knee hook, I can't transition to move. So I really want to find that beautiful, proud, open chest position. So we're going to do this. Pop up to crucifix. My outside leg is going to stay on the pole. My inside leg is going to come forwards into straddle, and I can feel that my wrists are at my hips. I'm looking up, but as much as possible, resist the temptation to look up. It's going to round your back. Feel where your body is. Then I push my hands to my hips, I engage my lats, and I release my second leg. So what might want to happen is as you release that leg, your hips drop. We want to resist that. We want to really push the hands to the hips, open the lats, and engage. I'm going to demonstrate on the second side. You can always pause the video, do it as many times as you want. One more time with me, shutting up, training my second side. Very tempted to talk, so. And then we're going to take that a step further, and we're going to do straddle to hang glider. So if that previous exercise, if the crucifix to happy straddle wasn't happening for you, if you're feeling that your hips are dropping down, stick with that exercise, train that exercise, and then when you're feeling good in that position, come onto this progression. Might take a few sessions, might take a month, work at your own pace. So next thing we're going to do is going to look like this. what an exit, maybe not that one. So I'm inverting to my happy straddle position. If you want to use that crucifix exercise to make sure that you're in that position, go for it. And then I'm going to release my top hand, thumb to the ceiling onto the pole, and push like I'm doing a forearm stand. You might have noticed I did this sneaky little thing with my hand. I rotated my knuckles around. So you can either invert, starting with your hand already in that position, or as I did, you can move it once you're up. So I invert. I might demonstrate from the crucifix so you know what I mean. So I can take it to crucifix, move my hand to the front. Inside leg comes forwards. You can push your inner thigh to the pole. That's why we rotated that hand. My second leg released. So my hips are high. At this point, my top hand releases, reaches for the pole beneath me, thumb up, and I push like I'm doing a forearm stand, and I'm in hang glider. Let's demonstrate a safe exit this time. I'm going to hook my outside leg and reach up. So if my hips were not high enough, if I wasn't in that happy straddle, I'll demonstrate it on my second slide. It'll be a very organic demonstration. It would look like this. Yeah, I can't keep my hips up when I release that top hand. So it's quite a good test of if your lats are engaged and your straddle is open enough. But of course, be safe, yeah? If you can feel my hips are dropping, get someone to spot you or do the previous exercise. So one last exercise for this lat engagement. So I'm always telling people when they're, in this position, push your hands to your hips, push your hands to your hips. And I can tell, absolutely reasonably, people don't understand what I'm on about. So this exercise, I think I invented to try and help people understand that feeling of pushing the hands to the hips. So we're going to come with the pole on our underarm as if we were like in an invert position, but we're going to put the inside hand nice and high, so I'm in a long arm position, outside hand on top, and I'm going to take my legs to a straddle. Then I'm going to push my hands into the pole, thinking about it coming from my upper arm and my lats. So I push, and I'm going to try and see if I can take my hips to my hands and then slowly roll that down. Let's do like 3 more reps. 3, 2, and 1 more. And let's spin around and do the second side for good measure. I'll give you a different angle. So I'm under my underarm, inside hand on, outside hand on top. Take your legs to a straddle. Do make sure you're right up under your underarm. It's not really going to work. Otherwise, push your hands to your hips. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So hopefully that gives you an understanding of what the hell I'm going on about when I say push your hands to your hips, push your hands to the hips. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. So the last bit of our straight leg deadlift that we haven't covered is the straight leg bit. So we're just going to do a few exercises to work on straight legs. So the first thing we're going to do is sit in a pike with our feet flexed, and we're going to post our hands under our legs. So depending on the shape of your body, there will probably be a little bit of air under there at the moment. I'm going to squeeze my quads and try and squash my fingers with the backs of my legs. And when I do that, my heels lift. That might not be exactly what it looks like in your body, but we just want to try and feel that engagement of that squeeze, that press down, and the lift of the heels. Let's do 3 more of those. We go 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to do the same thing with our ankles engaged. So we point our feet, squeeze the backs of our hands with the backs of our legs, and we go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we're going to put our palms flat on the floor. So people that come to class know that I'm a real meanie about this. I don't let you rock back like this to lift your legs. The reason is I want you to be using your abs, because when we do our invert, we're lifting with our abs engaged. We're not rocking backwards. So palms flat on the floor. We do that same engagement. So my heel is lifted off the floor, and we're going to do 5 single leg lifts. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Second leg, squeeze the back of the knee down onto the floor so your heel lifts, and we lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to put the block in between our ankles. We've got it. We might as well. We're going to do 5 with both legs. Here we go. Palms flat, shoulders back. We lift those legs for 5, for 4. I'm not at home with you, but I don't want to hear this. I want to hear control. We go for 2, 1 more. Nice stuff. Quads are probably burning. So pop your feet flat, swing your knees side to side, loosening off. And then we're going to do a similar thing in straddle, since that's where we'll be when we invert. So we take our legs out, turn out from your hips. We frame one leg. We're going to lift 5, 5, both together. Here we go. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We go to our second leg. 5. Obviously, lift to your own range, yeah? Some people might be like touching the ceiling. Some people might be doing this. Wherever you are, work to your own level. And then we do both together. Palms flat, shoulders back, turn out from the hips, 5 lifts. Here we go. 5, 4. I'm trying to not speak so high-pitched when I count. Last 2. 1 last time. Nice. Pop your feet on the floor, swing the knees side to side. So we did our lifting up towards us, but sometimes in pull we want to actually lift the leg behind us with a straight leg. So we're going to do one last thing for that. We pop our blocks down onto the mat or our cushion, whatever we're using. Come onto your tummy, and I'm putting the fronts of my ankles onto the pole. Onto the blocks. I'm going to make a little pillow for my forehead. I'm wearing a microphone. I'm going to put my chin to my chest. What a life. Then I'm going to press the front of my ankles into the blocks so that my knees lift off the floor. Let's do 5 of those. 5, obviously all of these things, you could do more reps if you want. Maybe not less, because I'm not doing that many reps, so at least 5. Then we keep those knees lifted. And we're going to do single leg lift for 5, really thinking about it coming from your butt. We go 5. Have a little look. I'm going to demonstrate what not to do. We don't want to bend and leave with the heel. We're using the butt to lift. 2 more. And then second side. Here we go. Lifting for 5, for 4. Sending energy out of those toes. 2 and 1. Both legs together. Let's get it for 5. For 4, try and have your feet about hip width apart for the purpose of what we're working on. 1 more rep. And release. Nice stuff. We know. One last thing. Unfortunately, I looked at my notes. One last finisher, so we just feel like, oh, we worked so hard, yeah? We're going to do full V-snaps. So 1 block in between your ankles, 1 block in your hands, 1 cushion, 1 jumper, whatever it might be. And we're going to try and do this. So I'm trying as much as possible to keep my biceps by my ears. My legs are straight. So it might look like this. That is totally fine. But I'd rather, again, that smaller range than breaking the form. 5 reps, as I said. Please feel free, stop the video, do more reps if you want. Here we go. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's stay at the top on the last one. And hold. Oh no, what a bad rep from me. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. We made it. Nice stuff. So we'll do a quick little stretch to finish. If you're going to do more training, you can always stretch later. But probably your quads are burning. So use your block, use your pillow for a little bit of padding if you want to. You don't have to. Step 1 foot forward. Turn the tailbone underneath. Stretch out through the front of that leg. And if you would like a little bit more, we're going to go opposite hand to the foot, hug it to your bum. Try not to let your butt stick up out as you do it. I'm still turning my tailbone underneath as I take that stretch. When you are ready, changing to the second leg. So think about starting in that little box. Turn your tailbone underneath, step the foot forward, lunge it out. This is quite a good angle if I upload the video onto a different platform, eh? And then folding forwards, heel to your bum, reach for the foot, hug it forwards. And let's take a little bit of hamstrings as well. So taking your legs out in front, flexing your feet. Big inhale to reach up and over. Take your knuckles towards your opposite ankle or as far as you can go. If you're more at your knee, more at your calf, that's totally fine. Outside arm opens up, look to your fingertips. Big inhale, see if you can find a little bit more space. And coming through center, changing to the other side. Big inhale to lift up, fold forwards, open through the chest. Breathing in, find a bit more space. And then let's come to center, palms forwards as you fold forwards over your hamstrings. And then let's just make sure we've done a bit of biceps, a bit of lats as well, since we obviously use those muscles. So interlacing your fingers, turn your palms away from you, round out through your back. Take a little arch to one side, arch to the other. Coming through center, reach the hands up above you. And then let's take them behind our back, interlace, press it out. And then if this is the end of your training for today, let's just come into a child's pose to finish. So knees wide, forehead down on the floor. Take a few deep breaths into your belly. And when you're ready, rolling yourself up. Let's take a circle of the arms up to the ceiling. Hands to the heart. And well done for all your hard work. Can't wait to see your straight leg deadlifts.